So, Doc, people listen to us for nonsense, and we give it to them in spades. Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. Some would even say, on our best days, malarkey. Braves, defending champs. Boy, it sure would be a shame if there was no season next year and we were just still the defending champs.
Also, this guy that got hit, how old was he?
46.
What a loser, just sissy man. You just got punched in the face by a 90-year-old man? Come on, dude.
I'll bet Doc is like the Sinbad of Ames, Iowa.
Oh,
because people, I didn't realize, I thought it was just a Doc thing with the corn jokes. Iowa people love corn jokes.
Well, you know what they say, knee high by July, baby.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that's killing in the Midwest right now. I'm sure when that hits their ears, they're like, that Doc, he gets us.
Doc, what do I love more than anything? That's right, an angry football team.
I prefer to think of Warsaw as like a battle of who's the best saw, right? So you have like a sawzall, you have a skill saw, you have a hacksaw, handsaw. It's just a battle of saws till the death.
Welcome to the Spaghetti Junction Boys podcast, coming to you from the Kutt Bet Studio in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. I'm your host, as always, William E. Hildebrand, and I'm joined here by the illustrious Doc Jacobson and the incomparable Ben Ralston. But before we get things started here, we want to thank our friends over at Kutt. I'm sure you have the same problem as we do, that it's hard to keep up with all the different bets you've made against your friends. Who's paid, who hasn't, what were the terms, on and on. Well, we came across this cool new app called Kutt that formalized that whole process so that you don't have to check the notes on your phone or scroll endlessly through your group chat. It's essentially a better version of Venmo, but for betting, with interactive features that make it more social. It tracks all your bets, allows you to create your own lines, see your record against your friends, and perhaps most importantly, ensures that you're paid when you win. Go check them out at kutt.com or on Instagram at kuttbet. That's Kutt, K-U-T-T. All right, so we are recording this on a Friday, so we're a couple days out from a Super Bowl. Matt Stafford has already gotten hammered drunk at the Super Bowl. Everyone was already able to love him and then admonish him, and now people are using nuance to not be mad at him. So we've missed a good bit. But I guess I'll start with you, Doc. What was your takeaways from the game? And so help me God, if you get into X's and O's, I'm out.
I just thought it was a great game. It was very back and forth the whole time. There was no dull moments, no lulls. It was just a good battle. Halftime show was great. Commercials were great. Very pleased with my viewing experience of this Super Bowl. A lot better than years past, too. So it's been awesome.
No, that the halftime show, just the thing that it was fine. The thing that I really love about it is the incredulous boomers reacting to it, because they were just furious. I saw some guy who's like a conservative pundit on Twitter saying, I can't believe this halftime show. It was horrible. You can't even dance to it. I was like, God, I would love to know what he was hoping for that he could dance to. If you can't dance to Snoop Dogg, and I mean, you can't really dance to Eminem, but if you can't dance to Kendrick Lamar and Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and 50 Cent, like, is this dude looking for Chubby Checker?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
No, Super Bowl halftime was great. Although I don't really think people go into a halftime show like, I really hope I can dance. Like that's the first time I've heard.
Yeah. I think that would really concern me is if it just turned into a
no, it was fantastic. We're worried it'd be a blowout.
And everyone at the place that I was watching the game at just started like it's a Charlie Brown dance special. But I don't know. It really infuriated boomers for some reason. And then everyone on Twitter made the same joke of millennials saying, oh, I'm so tired of the Rolling Stones and so forth, Paul McCartney and all these old people singing halftime shows. And then it's dudes in their 50s and 50 Cent, who's now 400 pounds. So
easy.
I mean, come on. When 50 Cent came on, and also talk about jokes that everyone's made. The inflation joke, yes, we get it. Inflation's going on, 50 Cent's fat. But I mean, everyone was thinking, oh my gosh, it's 50 Cent. I didn't know he was going to be there. Meanwhile, my only thought was 50 Cent looks terrible.
Well, I was just saying with your past battles on Twitter and Instagram of fat shaming, you got to be careful.
I know. I've gotten in really deep with the tubby community. That probably is not going to help.
Yeah, that's getting clipped.
No, leave it in, just like they leave carbs in their diet. No, I mean, it was the game was all in all fine. But one of my favorite things is folks getting hammered drunk at the celebrations, like Jock Peterson at Truist Park when he just is dropping F-bombs to everybody. Obviously, Tom Brady throwing the trophy last year, and the person whose dad originally designed the Super Bowl trophy was talking about how disrespectful that was. How did she even get that message out there? As a former journalist, I don't even know how I would, one, find her, and two, be like, oh, this is a great quote to have. Hey, boss, you want a quote from the daughter of the guy who designed the Super Bowl trophy about how Tom Brady got shithouse drunk on a boat in like a canal in Tampa Bay and threw the trophy? It's like, I mean, I guess we could use that somehow.
Do you think that trophy's solid metal? There's got to be some air in it. That thing's not sinking like an anchor. That's got a little bit of buoyancy to it.
I think you would prefer if it sank, no? Because if it has some buoyancy, I mean, that could float anywhere. Who knows where that thing's going to end up? But if it just sinks to the bottom, you're just like, oh, just.
I don't want it to sink like a rock. I mean, a little bit of a slow sink, so you can dive in and save it if it does end up in the water.
I don't think anyone has that capacity. I don't think like someone's going to jump off the boat like this is Casino Royale and just swim 20 yards down and cradle that thing and swim it up to the top. I think you're giving the Tampa Bay Bucks too much heroic credit.
These are professional athletes, Michael. I mean, William.
I mean,
and pirates.
I mean, just because you're a professional athlete doesn't mean you can do like hero dives. They're not Navy SEALs. These guys are good at catching footballs, not diving down and to the depths of the sea.
That's why I'm asking if it sinks slow or fast. I mean, if it has some air in it, some buoyancy, and this thing's falling, let's say, 5 feet every 30 seconds, you can get down there quick.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw some guy on Twitter saying it was another like outrage blue check mark. People who say that so-and-so and so-and-so are snowflakes really seem to get angry at the smallest things. And I was talking about, do they really need to be getting drunk? They're representing their company at a professional get-together in the city. And do they really have to go to work drunk and blah, 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 blah? It's like, oh, my God, man. This is one of the few times that we can just be like, oh, these celebrities are just like us. They get hammered and make asses of themselves. Like Tom Brady flat out blacked out at his last year. You saw that look when he came off the boat, and there was no one home. I know he blacked out because I know that look. And then you see Stafford this year like chugging Vuv on the stage. I don't know. Ben, where do you stand on athletes getting hammered at parades?
Obviously, very, very pro. Like, the arguments against it are dumb. They've achieved life ultimate goal. Let them have a little fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't get how you could be upset about them. By the way, we were aggregated on a Canadian Football League fan site as an Ole Miss fan page is how they referenced us in the aggregated article. And that really upset me because if anything, we are a live mascot fan page or after today's show, a shithouse parade fan page. And I feel like that's the proper way to address us.
Better come correct. Best thing I saw with this whole thing, too, was on the jump yesterday. LeBron was trying to do a tag team parade for the 2020 bubble season with the NBA. I saw somebody say that on there yesterday. I about died laughing. That's the most just
What does that even
trophy.
mean?
They would have a joint parade with the Lakers and the Rams celebrating their
And
championships. And Dodgers, yeah. Oh yeah, the Dodgers were there too. So
And meanwhile, someone's won it. Someone's won it since the Dodgers and Lakers have won it.
Yeah.
The Lakers were horrible last year. The Lakers were horrible this year. Could you imagine Lakers fans were so furious with their team? Like, oh, Russell Westbrook went 8 for 35 tonight, but you want to have a fucking parade, LeBron? We're playing in the play-in game. We're in the 10 seed. We're behind the Timberwolves, and you want to have a parade down Rodeo tomorrow. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
I think his commercial got a little bit too big to his head. Bringing back old LeBron or young LeBron.
Yeah, I
Great
did love
commercial, by the
all.
way.
There was not one great commercial from the Super Bowl.
That's false. The Sopranos reboot, amazing.
No, the only one in the Seth Rogen one was a letdown because that could not have been. I mean, it was him and Paul Rudd going into a haunted house, and I don't know. But the only one that I remember in a positive light, and it's not even positive, just an intrigued light, was obviously the QR code from Coinbase. But also, it doesn't make me feel good if I'm looking to invest on something on Coinbase if the traffic from the QR code crashed their website, because that's just an all-time bad planning moment. You start thinking about Super Bowl ads way before the Super Bowl happens, and you didn't anticipate a ton of traffic coming to your website. It's well, I mean, really, how many people watch the Super Bowl, And the fact that they couldn't handle that really alarmed me. But that's the only one worthwhile.
No, you're wrong. You're missing one. The Larry David crypto one, where he's I'm wrong about fire. I'm wrong about the wheel. I'm wrong about religion or whatever. And then it's oh, crypto, that's not going to be good. It's don't be like me. Don't be wrong. That one was great.
Well, listen, I love Larry David. I think he's remarkably funny and talented. But also, that made me think, Larry David, is he a sellout now? I mean, he's, I think, 74 years old, and now he's doing this crypto commercial. That seems like something, he plays a caricature of himself in Curb, but that seems like something that character would just I don't think so. That he would not be into crypto, and now we have Larry David doing crypto commercials. That just felt off to me. That just felt like when Ice Cube started playing cops in movies. Something was off about that.
Fair enough. Ice Cube is cops in movies. That's a great reference. Because that is just, he started Fuck the Police. Sorry, listeners.
I think they're familiar, unless they're just here for the live mascots. I do like the idea that there's someone listening somewhere who goes, okay, all right, come on, get to the North Alabama Lions. We got to talk about that. Which we're gonna have a lot of shows in the off season because we are now 7 months away from football coming back, which is really hard. Yeah, it's super hard for me to deal with. I mean, at my therapist's office this week, she's like, "Hey, do you want to get into that family stuff you want to talk about?" No. We got to start and end with 7 months of no football. I'm like, okay, that's what you're going through. It's going to be particularly hard on Sunday of this week because we had the no football 2 weeks ago. And Doc, if you say anything about the Pro Bowl, I'm going to find you.
It's technically football.
But at least I knew that the Super Bowl was coming. But now I got to deal with just there's just nothing ahead. It's just, I got the NBA playoffs coming eventually. The NFL draft's going to be in 2 months. We got March Madness in a month. But nothing hits harder than you wrap up work on Friday and you've got a gross Big 10 or Pac-12 9 o'clock Eastern time game to watch if you want on Friday night. And then it just kicks off with you being a piece of shit for the next 2 days. And it's just so beautiful that you only leave the house to go pick up wings. You just leave like a really warm indent and you start getting like a Charlie horse in your thigh because you're just sitting your ass down watching 4 TVs, making your living room an absolute zoo. You got a game you don't even care about. You got a Sunbelt game on because why not? It's football. And now 7 months of nothing. Is this what? I don't know what I'm gonna do with my Sunday afternoons now. Am I gonna go apple picking? Am I gonna go to wine country in Dahlonega? Like, what do I fill my time with?
Golf. Ben and I will give you that advice. Fill your time with golf. It's fun.
Maybe find a good book.
Pick up movies because your cinema knowledge is terrible.
It's limited to Ice Cube.
I heard I saw a little clip of Jonah Hill getting interviewed the other day, and he said that he never heard Ice Cube laugh. Like he'll make like a scoff sound, but he never heard him laugh. And then one day on set, he saw him cracking up laughing, looking at his phone, and he walked over and looked behind him, and Ice Cube was just watching Friday.
Checks out.
Nothing makes him laugh but video of himself from 25 years ago. No, I mean, I actually read a book. I finished a book last month, and then I realized that it was the sequel, and I owned the first book of the series, and so I read the wrong book. And so now that initial book that I have is useless to me.
Is it total like just spoiler? Like it is like just everything that would be in that book has already been addressed in the second book.
Yeah, is one of the dumbest things I've done.
That's pretty bad. What else could you pick up? You could pick up badminton.
I'm actually not a bad badminton player. I want to say that just outright, but I'm better on land than I am in water. Not
Never played it in water.
You what?
Never played it in water.
It is a game changer. I'll give you that.
Electric.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big hobby picking up guy because I fully subscribe to the notion that if I am not good at something right away, then it's just dumb and no one should ever like it. And so that's not great for learning new skills if I'm keeping it 100.
The internet makes hobbies difficult now because everyone is an expert already. So no matter what you pick up, you're way behind the 8 ball, and it's just frustrating.
Ooh, internet. I should spend more time online. Maybe I'll join like a pop stars stan group on Twitter, and maybe I'll stan Ariana, or maybe I'll become a Swiftie. I don't know.
You should learn to pronounce her name right first. It's Ariana.
What I say?
K-pop.
Oh, maybe I could be a big K-pop guy. I don't know. I know if I'm going to join a stan group, I'm going to spend less time standing my celebrity and more time just going hard after their enemies. Or not even enemies, just peers in the industry. Like, if you want Ariana, she's just my wife. It's not a great start for Ariana Grande.
Are you about to drop it?
Yeah, I can't be one of her stands. I got to stand someone else. But no, I'll ruin some lives on Twitter. That's fine.
I think I'm going to pick up guitar in my off time. I don't know why. You gave me a guitar a couple months ago, and I've just been sitting there collecting dust. And I'm like, yeah, something to do. Eat up some time.
Doc, I recommend you start with a catalog of songs that ESPN only plays for lead-in promotions for games for the weekend. Just like whatever Imagine Dragons songs they played the last 3 years, start with those.
Okay.
We can feel like football's back.
It's just me playing guitar, like holding a football and crying at nights.
Doc knows Radioactive by Imagine Dragons before he knows Hot Cross Buns would be a good way to spend the summer. Ben, other
You
than
have
golf,
7 months.
you have 7 months to learn radio. Oh, and if I could give you just one bit of advice, the lightning brings the thunder. Lightning brings the thunder. So just keep that in mind when you're playing. But Ben, other than golf, anything that you have on your mind, and you can't take standing, unless you want to stand somewhere.
Pickleball.
Pickle.
Yeah, pickleball is all the rage now. I kind of want to get involved.
Don't say get involved like you're taking up some social cause. Like, you can't say, oh, I saw people playing pickleball and I couldn't just sit idly by. I had to get involved.
Ben's playing pickleball to save the earth.
I mean, I feel like pickleball, it was something that people just did in PE that some guy just made up as a joke. He's just like, hey, what if we made tennis smaller and less athletic and slower? And then it became like a cult following thing. It's like the Rocky Horror Picture Show of rec sports. And then the old people got a hold of it. It's like old people got a hold of pickleball, and now I think it's like when white people figured out kind of how to do the gritty, and you're like, oh crap, the gritty's done, man. It's the dab all over again. It's the John Wall dance all over again. It's Soulja Boy all over again. But I think like pickleball, if you were to do a per capita of games played, it would just be an absolute heater zone on Central Florida. Anyone want to take up on that, or you just both want to sit there in fucking silence while I'm talking about pickleball?
Ben's topic.
We're done with pickleball.
No, sorry, my internet was lagging there. No, it's everywhere. Central Florida aside, I mean, there's now signs in Johns Creek for leagues. So either get involved or die.
Adapt or die. I don't know. I would like if we got more into protesting. Maybe you could start that off by protesting Wimbledon or the U.S. Open with just like a sign out front that says, this court's too big. Use different rackets, and just try and convert traditional tennis tournaments into pickleball tournaments. Just a thought. So I wanted to ask y'all for a new segment this week, starting this week, called Is Baseball Back? Doc, I'll start with you. Is baseball back?
No.
All right, and that was Is Baseball Back? And for our final segment of the night, I want to talk about something that really is near and dear to my heart, and that's sea monsters. So scientists have discovered a fossil in Santa Fe of a new species of, quote, giant sea scorpion. The 4-foot-long fossilized predator was found in 305 million-year-old rocks, and scientists are quote, fucking scared. This scientist, Lucas, has been collecting fossils for more than 40 years. He said, we've never seen anything like this before. This kind of animal has never been found here. So in a world where we have sharks and megalodons and all this, we now have 4-foot sea scorpions. So I hope you're happy, Jurassic Park. If you want to bring back all these prehistoric animals, guess what? A 4-foot scorpion that lives in the ocean is around. I think that's the scariest sentence I've ever said in my life. Like you go into the ocean and you're taking a calculated risk. You're like, okay, I know there's sharks in there. I know there's rays who killed the crocodile hunter. I know that there's jellyfish and man-o-wars, but I'm just gonna risk it. You know, I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. I want to go in there. I got my koozie. I got my beer. I've got my sunscreen. I've got my bucket hat. I just want to vibe out. I don't care about the danger. But I don't think I could ever go in the water again if I knew there was the possibility of a 4-foot scorpion that could be just lurking around the floor somewhere. Am I wrong in this? Is this an irrational fear?
No, pretty rational.
Yeah.
I
I was
mean,
going to go the opposite.
what's that?
You can't function out of fear, Billy. I mean, at some point, you got to face the sea scorpion.
Is that like a poster that I would find at a Scholastic book fair where it's just trying to be motivational?
Yeah.
Wall, it's just like, hey, life is full of sea scorpions. At the end of the day, you just got to face the scorpion. Maybe, I have no tattoos, but maybe I'll get that tattooed in another language, just like on my forearm, and someone's gonna be like, "Oh wow, so what does that mean? Is that message important to you?" It just says like, "Oh yeah, no, that's Swahili for face the scorpion." Like, oh, okay. I don't know what that means, but it sounds important. So yeah. No, I mean you always have to be cognizant when you're shuffling around the ocean or Gulf floor that maybe I'm gonna step on a ray, but stepping on a 4-foot scorpion, you don't come back from that. Even if you come back from it physically, you don't come back from that mentally.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I want to see how big the spike is. I need to see a photo of this fossil because if it's a 4-foot long scorpion, that tail, I mean, that could impale you. That could go right through you, a la Steve Irwin.
Because you think about where that's getting whipped up at. If it's 4 foot, I mean, it's coming up to like your sternum.
Oh, yeah.
Although I will say a silver lining opportunity is we have an excess of just redundancies within high school mascots. And, you know, if you're inland, you're going to be the Trojans or you're going to be the Bulldogs or the Tigers, the Jaguars, all that crap. And if you're on the water, there's tons of sharks. In Florida, there's tons of gators. There's a lot of dolphins, a lot of pirates. Now, if you're in a coastal town, you need to consider changing your high school mascot to the sea scorpions. No?
100% would be a great not live mascot, but like
Jesus Christ, no, not the live mascot.
Just on a leash walking through pregame. The other team would be scared shitless.
Yeah, but what like high school senior part-time cross country runner are you going to entrust with a 4-foot scorpion? Just are they drawing for that at a pep rally? It's like, all right, the one who has to walk around our scorpion this year, and everyone in the stands like, oh God, please not me, please not me. No, I mean, I'd fully be on board. I think you can do a lot with merch in that way. If you just have like the, I don't know, Jupiter High School sea scorpions. It's just you, little brain, dolphins, sharks, gators, me, big brain, sea scorpions.
I mean, you could have a Ralphie situation too if that cross country guy ain't holding on for a long time. You might want to bring out some basketball players. Who knows?
Well, I mean, it's a sea scorpion, so if it's on land, I think it's just going to be like water.
Oh, that's true. A SpongeBob situation.
Yeah, we brought back one sea scorpion to life from 300 million years ago, and we promptly killed it because we let Derek, the high school junior, walk him around the track during a football game.
Can I say something about this paleontologist real quick?
Please.
Spencer Lucas is his name, is a fake.
Oh.
I'm calling him out here. In this article, a citizen whom Lucas will not identify discovered this, not Lucas himself. He's playing fake paleontologist. He's claiming honor here. Stealing valor. I don't like it.
What the hell is this citizen doing digging like that?
I don't know. This guy is just he's a fake. Breaking news. Guy's a fake. Also, in that article as well, the fossil was mostly just the tail of the scorpion. So I'm in full belief this is a Scorpion King situation with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, where the front half of it is a human body and the back half of it's a scorpion.
That's a good point. Also something that has yet to be brought up. And it's an important discussion. I'm glad we're having. I mean, that would really change a lot of the news cycle if you just see Scientists believe they found remains of Scorpion King. Jesus Christ, did they really? I mean, but still with the vitriolic nature of what's going on in this country, I think it would still be like the C block of a cable news program. It would be like, if we have time, we'll get to the Scorpion King fossil. If we can fit in the last 5 minutes in the D block of the show, we'll try and get to half man, half scorpion from 300 million years ago. All right. That seems like a good place to end. Thanks as always for joining us. You can check us out at sjbatlanta.com, on Instagram at Spaghetti Junction Boys, on YouTube at Spaghetti Junction Boys, on Twitter at sjbatlanta. Thanks as always for listening. Go check out kuttbet.com. Send them a DM if you want to get your account started. They're currently in beta. A lot of exciting things going on over at Kutt, so make sure to check them out. All right. Thanks as always for listening, and we will see you next week.